So here in the notes it says that they're gonna do this. This is a different method, but I actually was showing you this method from the beginning. It was more the way that I found a lot easier to find the maximum flow. And anyway, so we're going to do both ways to show you. So remember, we'll do this first way. So we're going to try and find the maximum flow through the network. So the way we start is we start at the source, and I just find ways to go through to the sink. So remember here, our biggest capability is 4. So I've used 4 out of the 7 there, okay? So then what I'm doing is because I've used 4, I'm going to use, I can go along this way, and I have 2 that I could use. Would you agree? I've still got 2 amongst that 7. So I'm going to add, I'm using the 2, and that 2 I'm going to move along here and go into the sink. So what I'll do is I put a line and I say I've used 2 out of that 9 so far. So then I could go from this source. I'm going to go from the source. I'm going to use this 5. Now, I could go straight through because there's still room in that tank, isn't there? Or that pipe, whatever you want to call it, isn't there? So I'm going to say add 5 there. I've used the 5. So what's that pipe up to now? It's up to 7, isn't it? Yeah, so 7. So if I kept going, I'm going to go now. I'm going to use this line. So I'm going to go 9, and I'm going to keep going because I want to go up here. Now, I've got 3, but I'm going to use up 2 of them to fill up this last one. So now I know 9 has gone through there. So I've used 2 of that, and 2, it's come from here. Okay? So I've used 2. So now that 9 pipe in the blue is full, so no more is going to flow into there. So we've used all that. So we're going to finish, and we've used all that. All right, so then I've only got this last pipe and the last way. So really when I go along here, I've got 7 left. Would you agree? Because I've used 2 out of the 9, yes? And I've got 7 left, and can 7 go through there? It can, can't it? So I'm going to say 7, and like I could say, I took 7 through there. All right, so what is the maximum capacity? I used 4 of it came through there. This added up to 9, didn't it? Yeah? We used 9, and we only used 7 here. So I go 4 plus 9 plus 7, and that equals 20, yes? So maximum flow is 20 for this one. Okay, so that's the maximum flow. So if I was using the cut method, that means I should be able to make a cut that has 20. So if you have a look, you're always trying to get the smallest cut. So if I went down through here, I'm going to go through 4, I'm going to cut through like this. Okay, so that's my cut. Now, if you look, remember, so I'm going to highlight on the side of the cuts like we were doing yesterday. So highlight, that's the highlighted, that's the sink side. So if the edge is coming from the source, the non-highlighted side going into the highlighted side, then you count it. So this top one, I'd count that 4. I'd also count this 2, wouldn't I? Because it's coming from there as well. I would count this 5 because it came from there into the thing. And would I count that 9? Yeah, that 9. So if you have a look, I counted 4 plus 2 plus 5 plus 9. And did that give me 20? Yeah. Yes, it does. 4 plus, yeah, so it equals 20. So there's the minimum cut as well. So you could have just gone straight to the cut and found the lowest cut. That would have been your maximum flow. Or you could have done it the first method. Okay, so here we go again. So I'm going to start, it says find maximum flow. So I'm going to start with going through that. So I can obviously, sorry, the most I can use, so I just put a line and I say I've used the 2 out of there. So this pipe, I've used all the 2, so no more can come through there. So then the next option is I'm going to come through this 6 and go up there. Now, I can still fit 2 through there, can't I? Yeah? So I'm going to use another 2 here. So add another 2. So I've used that 2 and the 2 came from that one there. So now you can sort of cross off. You're not going to get any more going into that pipe 5 now because, you know, there's no more left. So then I just keep working downwards. So now I'm going to go along here. Now, if I've used 2 out of the 6, do I have 3 left to go along here? I do, don't I? 2 and 3 would be 5. Do you understand? So I'm going to use this 3. That fills that up. So no more can go into that one. So I can cross, I'm done there. And then I've got this bottom option. So I could go down along 5. So what can go through, what's the maximum that can go through that one? 5, good. So I've used 5 and 5. So then we just look at the ones going into the sink. So I used 4, I used 3, and I used, oops, sorry. I only used 5 here. So the maximum flow, I'm going to say was 4 plus the 3 plus the 5. So that equaled 12. All right. So did you get that? Yeah. So what you're doing, if you're doing for the cut, you would have been going through all the cuts. I know now 12 is the smallest cut I can get. So you sort of want to try and go through the smallest ones. Now, if I go like this and I cut through here like that, so I went through a 2, a 2, a 3 and a 5, but just to show you that, I'll highlight it for you. So highlighting this side, it would separate the sauce. If I pulled that apart, I'd have the sauce in one spot and the sink in the other. So if you look at it, this 2 leads into, from the non-highlighted into, this one, this 2 does as well because it started here. And then this 3 does as well. And then this, 6. Does that work? No? No. So that doesn't work. That's going to be, what's that? That'd be 2, 4. That'd be 13. So what I'm going to do is, sorry, I should have, I'm going to cut it through here. Like that. Yeah? And then I still got that 3 and I do that 5. And if I do that cut would be the 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. That equals 12. Let's give this one a go. So I'm going to start along here. And what's the maximum I could go through if I did that part? 10. So I just like to go, all right, I got 10 and I got 10. So anything leading into, now I'm going to cross, oh, sorry, I won't. The 10's full. Okay, so then we could go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of it this way because I've got how much left over when I get to B? 5. So I'm going to use 5 going in that way. So I just like to go, all right, I've added 5. I'm using 5 out of that and I'm using 5 out of that. And then I'm going to come in this way. Sorry. And I've got 20. And how much more have I got left in that 9 pipe? 4. So I'm going to add a 4. And so that means I've used 4 of the 20. Okay, now I'm just going to, so I'm sort of just working downwards. You're definitely right. There's other options, but we will still get the same thing. And I just find if I go downwards, I'm covering all the options, like I'm not missing any. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish go this way, down this 13. So I'm coming from the 20 tank or pipe, and so I've got, how much left? I've got 13 available, haven't I? Yes. So I'm going to use 13, and can 13 go through there? It can. So I'm using 13, and I'm going to add 13 there. So no more coming through that anymore. So, and no more, the 20 pipe can't go anywhere else. So I've used all of that. So now I'm going to come through, sorry, I'm going to use purple again, but I'm going to come through the 8. Now, we've got 8. Now, obviously only 8 can come through 10. Have I got room for 8 to go through that last one between F and G? Can 8 get, we've only used 13, so what would 8 take me up to? 21? Yeah? So I can add 8 in there, so I've used 8 out of there, and I used 8 out of there. So now I'm finished. So the maximum flow is going to be all those numbers that led into the sink, which was G in this case, sorry. So I've got maximum flow equaled 10 plus, I used all of the 9, and I used, is that 21? Yeah. So I ended up with maximum flow was 40. Okay. And then the cut, so you needed to find the cut. So the cut, I needed to cut through, so I will cut through this one, 10, 9, 13, and 10. So if you cut that, let's do the highlight so you can see. Make sure. Okay, so if I look at it, this 10 is going in. This one here is the 9, and the other one there is the 13, and this one's 10. So if I add those numbers up, 10 plus 9 plus 13. Oh no, that's not right, is it? Oh yeah, sorry. What did it, that gets up to 42, does it? So what one do I want to go through? Over here? Yeah. Yep. Out here? Yep, sorry. So then you would have cut out that way. Alright. So what did I go? Plus 10 plus 8. And that equals 40. Okay, so when you're going to get ones of examples where you've got two sources, what you have to do is you separate them, and you do two separate like flow things. So what you can do though is you can pretend, see how they're joined. You give this joining this bridge or whatever, this joining pipe, you give it to the one where it's flowing into. So it's sort of acting as like a source for two. So what we're going to do is in the first one, we're going to pretend this is the first one, and that 200 will be part of the second option, okay? So we're just going to do source 1 first. So just do the same. So if I was going through, I got 4, so I would use 300 of it, yeah, and then so I've used 300. Now I've got, because this first pipe, I've got 100 left over, so I'm going to move 100 through there. So I've used that 100, and I've used 100 out of this 400, and then here I've got 800, but it can only bring 3. Do I have room for 300 to come through here? Yeah, I do. So add 300. So the maximum flow for this one would be the 300 plus the 100 plus the 300. So maximum flow is 700. So if you did a cut, your smallest cut you can do, there's a couple of spots you could do it, but there you go. That cut would equal 700. You could do it up earlier as well. Okay? So now I'm going to do source 2. So source 2, remember I'm using this 200. So what I'm going to do is do that as my first option. So I've got 200, 200, 200 and out here. So I used 200 out of that one. Okay, and I've used the 200 out of that. So now that is full. Okay, so the next, and I've used all of that 200 coming through. So my next one I'm going to use from the actual this source. So I'm going to go 100. I'm bringing 100 through, and it can go through all the way. Would you agree? That 100, the original 100. So I'll put 100 there. I've used 100 out of this one, and I've used that fully. Okay, then I'm going to go along here. I've got 300 coming through. Now that 500, I've already used 100 of it, so I've got 400 left. So will 300 fit in? Yes. Would you agree? Yeah. And then you go through here. Now, do I have 300 in that last one? Yeah, I do, don't I? Because I've only used 100 of it. So I can use 300. So I'm done. I've got through. Oh, no, so that's 300 there. Now, can I add 300 into here? Yeah. So it kept going. Sorry, I didn't make it quite to the source or whatever, the out sink. All right, so we've done that. So now we've gone all that way. Sorry, I used 300 up at the start. So that pipe's done. He's finished. Okay, and now the bottom one. I'm going to go along here. I've got 100. Can 100 get through here? Yes. And 100 through there? Yes. So I've got 100 coming through here.
I'm missing the 100 from the green ones.
I didn't add it onto the sink.
Yeah, the 6.
Yep. Sorry, yeah, though you're right. We didn't keep going through here. Yeah. Okay, and then I've got the 100. So let's have a look. We've got 100. We got up to 600 there. And, oh, that was it. They're the two going in. So I've got 600 plus 100. So maximum flow is? Yep, maximum flow. So you can say this is maximum flow for source 2 and this is maximum flow for source 1. Okay?